Good morning, Dr. Ruth Anderson here with Enlightened World Network. I'm here with two beautiful, radiant soul sisters, Terry Angel and Deb Goldberg, and we are here to bring you a silent meditation for our meditation a day. So silent meditation means that Deb plays beautiful music while we go behind the scenes and meditate together. We spend about 20 or 25 minutes, and then we come back and we share with you what we experienced. It's pretty cool, pretty amazing time together. So please join us in meditation in your own way. We will come back to you. And Deb, as soon as you're ready, we're going to slip behind the camera. Thank you, Deb, for that beautiful music. I'm sure we've got Terry coming back on in a minute. She always takes longer, folks. I don't know why. But we'll start talking here about the things that we had experienced during that meditation while Terry's finding her way back on. The first thing that I saw was the three of us really just sitting in peace, really just with our own huddle going on. And as we were there together huddling, then all of a sudden our guides, including the archangels and Divine Mother and Christ, were around us in a circle. And shortly after that, the 500,000 earth angels were around us in the circle, another concentric circle. And at one point, all of the guides and all of the earth angels went down on one knee, and it was out of reverence for the creator. It was so clear that that's what it was. And I was reminded that our next show that we're doing this morning is about leadership. It's about tenacious leadership. And we talked about how in spiritual leadership, one goes from how can I serve into now I'm serving, and because I'm serving, I'm in this place of seeming leadership. So we talked about that a little bit. We talked about authenticity and being true and truthful to yourself at that point. And Deb, you talked about how all of us are serving a purpose, whether we're truly walking in what we would say is our calling or not. Every moment of every day, we are serving a purpose. Can you share about that a little bit?
Sure. God's moving in us, all of us, whether we are awake or not awake. And each one of us has a specific role that we play in this life. And wherever you are in any moment, you are still serving a purpose for somebody else and for yourself. And that's why we're not supposed to judge, is because we are where we are in any moment. And that if we accept the wholeness of our whole being, or the range of our personality, or the range of the different aspects of ourselves, that if we can accept all of that and allow it, you are always being your authentic self in any moment, rather than changing who you think you need to be all the time. Because that is also part of I'm not enough. Now, even though we're growing all the time and we're unfolding into more of a, maybe you want to say divine authentic self, you're more heart-centered. As you keep unfolding, that will be the whole journey. But wherever you are is really important to just let yourself be who you are in that moment. Allow it.
We also talked about how there isn't an end point. There isn't ever a place of now I've arrived, I'm 100% who I'm supposed to be. We are all on journeys of learning and discovery and growth and transformation. And really, the journey is the end result.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it certainly is. It's like you are a mystery that keeps unfolding. And so does the outside, the world. It's the same thing. So being being in alignment and allowing and accepting that there is a divine order and everything is moving exactly the way that it's supposed to, without judging whether it's good or bad, or wrong or right. It's accepting what is. And when you can accept your own self of what is, oh my goodness, it takes so much stress off of you, knowing that there's a divine guidance system inside of you, guiding you in every single moment, that you can just let go. Let yourself be.
Yeah. And Deb, we also talked about what you called quietude. which I love that word. I don't know if it's a real word, but it should be if it's not. But that coming to that place inside where you take the time to rest, you take the time to ground and to know yourself before you turn around and try to become something for somebody else. Just that importance of that quiet inward personal huddle. I mean, we had our own huddle, but your own personal huddle.
Mhm.
There she is.
Hey, welcome back. Yeah.
That was
Terry,
fun. I took a little trip.
and were you able to hear anything that we were talking about?
No, I had to totally reboot my computer. It knocked me out and wouldn't let me back in.
Well, we just did a brilliant job of recapping everything that we had gone
Thank you.
But Terry, one of the things you brought up was how we're all learning to use our power of discernment when it comes to our leaders. Do you want to talk about that for a minute?
Sure. Yeah, the more we're open to who we are as an authentic spiritual being in these human bodies, we're more connected with the oneness of us all. And so then we're able to feel into that power when we're looking at someone that's speaking and see if we resonate with what they say. Are we resonating with that message? Are we hearing what they're hearing? Are angels nudging us and saying, hey, pay attention to this? So it's a matter of feeling into who you are and then using that power of discernment about anything that you might be experiencing. And their message may not be for you. You may not be ready for it to receive it, or you may be on a separate path and you're just not at that point of receiving that message yet. So just open up to whatever is there. Just allow it to be, as we talked about in our own discussion. Allow everything to be. Don't put up a resistance against it, but also just see how it's feeling inside of you. Is this for me? Is it for me right now? Or is this something that, I need to focus on something totally different on my path? So we're always doing that. We're always using that discernment, but I think it's coming to a higher level now where we can really experience things in a different way and just ask those questions, ask the important questions, and you'll get the answers.
Deb, you brought up that we all aren't perfect. I mean, none of us think we're perfect, but we are all perfectly doing what we're supposed to be doing.
Mhm.
Can you share about that?
Yeah, there's what I've been taught is that there's a script written for us, and this is our story. And wherever we are, as we are unfolding, you are playing a role for other people and for your own self. Because even when you feel like, oh, you know what, maybe I shouldn't have done that, you get to experience and then discern whether, oh, maybe I don't want to do that anymore. You get to experience your own self. So by stopping yourself from being being who you are in that moment, you're actually taking away from your own experience, and you're helping teach other people, because always teacher and student, every single one of us at all times. And so when somebody stops being themselves because they feel like they need to correct themselves in some way, or modulate, change what they're doing, when they're not being authentic, then you lose out and they lose out, because everything is a teaching moment. So if you are looking at, like I said before, that God is always God is expressing itself as you, through you. And so no matter what you're doing is not wrong. So, I know people could take that and go, well, what about people who do this, that, and the next thing? But it's serving a purpose. And it doesn't make sense to us what that is. We all want to know why. And when we can give up asking why and just accept it is, then that comes from trust and faith in God. Then you can let go of, like, I don't have to be the judge of everything, because I don't really know the extensiveness of what I'm seeing. I don't know the whole picture. I'm only getting a glimpse. And then we start seeing people as a part, an aspect of themselves, and not the whole being. So we could look at somebody and say, well, that person's bad or wrong, not realizing that they're God, that they're God too, they're spirit, and that they're a whole being. And wherever they're stuck right now in their story is perfect for them. And it is perfect for us. And this comes from really going into that quietude and spending time with divine love and letting it teach you and grounding yourself in that more than what you're seeing on the outside.
Beautiful. Thank you. Terry, do you have anything you want to add to that?
Just to be true to you. I think that's so important these days. You know, we can hear messages from all over the place from a variety of people that are all on their path and speaking their truth. It is their truth, but be true to you and what you're hearing. We all have these abilities to communicate directly with God. There are spiritual gifts. So tune in more to what you know inside of you is your truth and your reality. And stay true to who you are. Don't be just caught up in the spin and going this direction and that direction. Use that power of discernment and always ask in your heart, is this for me? Is this true for me? And you'll stay on your path when you do that, when you remain true to your authentic self.
So beautiful, Terry. Can you imagine what a world would be if we just allowed everybody to have their own individual journey and didn't judge it? Because everybody has their own individual path and has their own truth. And it's okay for everybody to have their own truth because they're having their own movie. They're having their own story. And there's its own plot and chapters and what unfolds in it. So, but we haven't really been taught that.
Right. Well, and it is fascinating because while Terry's living her life, she's playing a role in my life. And how she's playing that role for me is very different, Deb, than how she's playing that role for you. So it just is fascinating when you look at it that way.
Yeah. And that's why it's important to be your authentic self, meaning be who you are in that moment, what your truth is in that moment, because we are all learning from that.
I love it, ladies. So folks, that was our silent meditation for today. Thanks for hearing that. I hope that your meditation time was beneficial to you as well. And please join us at the top of the hour for our next session, which is Tenacious Leadership, Heeding the Call. I'm looking forward to this one. This is new for us. We're going to have about 4 weeks of this, I believe, on Sundays right after silent meditation. So there's always something new at EWN. And that's one of the things that we so appreciate about EWN, that it's always fresh because people are always in the current time with what's important to them, what's speaking to them. So you will see shows change and you will see people gravitate to do different things with each other. And that's perfect because that's fresh. That's hitting people from their heart and they are being authentic to themselves and what's important to themselves now. So you will see change on EWN. If you blink, you might miss somebody's show because maybe they only did 3 shows of it. But that is so special to me that we are so fluid, that we can support different light workers coming to the table really from where their heart is speaking at that time. So with that, please come back and join us in about 14 minutes and we'll see you for Tenacious Leadership. Thank you, ladies. I love you both.
Love you.